Now to Kenya, where protests have gripped the capital, Nairobi, with demonstrators taking to the streets over the country's cost of living crisis. Kenyan police have fired tear gas and arrested several senior opposition figures as hundreds of people protested protested against President William Ruto, who's been unable to bring down cost of living prices since taking over in September. Kenyans are suffering from surging prices for basic necessities and a punishing drought that's left millions hungry. The country's opposition leaders call for the protests to go ahead. Let's join our correspondent Felix Moringa, who's in Nairobi. Welcome, Felix. Just outline for us what's happening at the moment.
So, Phil, we are in the central business district here in Nairobi, and there's heavy police presence. If you can see just behind me, police have cordoned off some of the roads where the protesters had said that they will march or they will converge the Kenyatta International Conference Center, which is within the central business district. Of course, they've been running battles between police and the protesters at different parts of the city. There have also been several people who've been arrested, the protesters, because yesterday the police commissioner in Nairobi said that the protest had not been permitted to take place, and so anybody who will be found picketing or even demonstrating will actually be arrested. And those arrests have been many, majority of them being young people who had come out to protest. And of course, shops are also closed in Nairobi. Several people that we've talked to who are in business, they're saying today they've not been able to do any business because their shops have remained closed for the better part of the day. So that's what has been taking place here in Nairobi.
And Felix, is this all about the cost of living crisis?
It's not just about the cost of living. Yesterday, the opposition leader, Raila Odinga, said that some of the things that they'll be protesting, aside from the cost of living, it's they are saying that the election was stolen, their victory was stolen, and he's saying that even the Supreme Court ruling went against his wish, and he lost the election not because the people didn't vote for him, but because his election was bundled by the electoral officials. So there's also the claim for the election. They're also saying that some of the promises that President Ruto's government had made when they came to office have not materialized as yet, and so they are protesting towards some of those promises. And if you can hear just behind me, there are also tear gas canisters being lobbed, police vehicles just moving. So there's still activity going. And if my cameraman can just show you, there's some tear gas that has just been lobbed just behind me, and so there's just some activity. Police and the protesters, of course, it's been a running battle for the better part of the day, and the protests are not yet done because even the leaders of the opposition leaders are nowhere to be seen. So people are still speculating where the opposition leaders are. They called for the protest, but they have not yet been seen. There have been speculations about what is happening to them, where they are at, but as at now, there's no official communication as to their whereabouts.
Well, that's interesting, isn't it? Because we have Raila Odinga calling for more protests despite the government's crackdown over these demonstrations. So what do you think will happen over the next few hours? How will this play out?
So about 2 hours ago, Raila Odinga, in his official Twitter page, tweeted that I've seen work has begun. I'm on my way to the CBD. But from 2 hours ago, he's not yet been seen. Fellow opposition leaders have not been seen. However, some of the members of parliament who had come to the protest were actually arrested, and they were taken to different police stations. One of the advocates was actually saying that they went to seek where the member of parliament was, and they could not be able to access them because they were arrested and they were taken to an unknown place. So they still a lot of things that may happen in the next few hours. Maybe Raila Odinga will show up. Maybe Martha Karua, the deputy, will show up. Maybe there'll be more activity with the police and the protesters. We're just waiting to see what happens in the next few hours.
OK, thank you for that, Felix. Felix Moringa in Nairobi.